Video games are becoming increasingly popular among children of all ages, but parents and other adults are becoming worried about the potential negative effects of video games playing on children's brain development. It is true that video games can have both positive and negative effects on children, but in this video we will focus on the negative effects that video games have on children. It is important to understand that the effects of video games on the brain are still largely unknown and research on the topic is still in its infancy, and the exact long-term effects of video gaming remain unclear. That being said, there are several potential negative effects that games have on our children's brains that are important to consider. One of the potential negative effects of video games on children's brain development is that it can lead to an increase in aggression. Research has found that certain video games can increase the likelihood of aggressive behavior in both children and adults, especially the violent ones. This is due to the fact that the majority of video games are violent in nature, like we previously stated, but even more so in the years 2022 to 2023, they involve killing, destroying, very sexual in nature, and very violent. These things and depictions can lead to an increase in aggressive behavior in children, which can manifest in the form of physical violence, verbal aggression, and bullying. Studies have found that playing video games can lead to an increase in addiction, which can lead to a decrease in overall academic performance, let alone anything that has to do with the Lord and serving Him. This is due to the fact that video game addicts often spend more time playing video games than they do studying or engaging in physical activities, studying their Bible or going to church. Additionally, the reward system within video games can lead to an increase in obsessive behavior, which can interfere with the development of other important skills such as problem solving and decision making. Third, video games can also lead to an increase in sedentary behavior. Studies have found that playing video games for extended periods of time can lead to an increase in slothful and/or lazy behavior, which can lead to a decrease in overall physical health and spiritual health. Children get enamored by video games and they tend to play for long periods of time, and do not engage in physical activities, and it makes them not want to read their Bible or engage in prayer. Additionally, prolonged periods of sitting can lead to an increase in back and neck pain, as well as an increase in all kinds of physical and mental problems. The Bible has long been revered as a source of truth, morality, and spiritual guidance. It contains many stories and teachings that are meant to shape our lives and the way we interact with others. As such, it is important to consider how video games fit into this framework. Video games have never been more prevalent among children and adults alike. They provide an engaging form of entertainment, allowing players to explore various virtual worlds and complete challenging objectives. However, despite their popularity, there is much concern over the potential adverse effects of video games on impressionable young minds and their spiritual walk with Christ. For Christians, this concern is particularly relevant. The Bible teaches us to be mindful of what we allow into our lives and our children's lives. We must remember that the influence of our media consumption can shape our beliefs and values. While some video games can provide hours of entertaining enjoyment, which can be argued is a waste of time, they may also contain elements that could conflict with biblical principles. One of the key issues with video games is the potential for violence and sexual themes. Many popular titles feature characters who engage in violent activities to complete their objectives. This can desensitize children to the consequences of such behaviors, causing them to view violence as an acceptable means of resolving conflicts. Additionally, the intensity of some games can create a false sense of reality, leading players to believe that these actions are normal and acceptable. This can not only lead to unhealthy attitudes towards violence, but it can also undermine the Bible's teachings on peace and love. Finally, many video games contain themes and content that conflict with Christian beliefs. Some games are based on fantasy worlds, including magic and paganism, and forms of idolatry, while others feature characters engaging in immoral activities. These elements can be incredibly alluring to young minds, as they offer an escape from reality and the chance to explore something forbidden. Unfortunately, this can lead children away from sound biblical teachings and toward a path of sin and destruction. Let us remember what Jesus said in Matthew 18 verse 6. But if you cause one of these little ones who trust in me to fall into sin, it would be better for you to have a large millstone tied around your neck and be drowned in the depths of the sea.